Hey guys, Olivia here. Today we're going to do a book summary on The Charisma Myth by Olivia Fox Cabane. So in this book, basically the main message is that charisma is not some inherited trait. It's actually a trait that you can build and get better at throughout your life. So she kind of dispels that whole myth that it's just natural and it's just a gift. It's like a skill that you can build and get better at, and this is 100% true. So why should you care about charisma? Well, people who are charismatic, their life is basically just a lot easier. You're going to be going through the same types of challenges as other people, and the people who are charismatic are able to better handle these challenges. I want you to think about the people who you view to be successful. Most likely they're very good speakers, and 99.9% of the time they probably have excellent social skills. Like, they're probably really good at communicating with others. So it's kind of a necessary skill that you're just going to have to build in order to work with others and achieve a lot of things, because you're not an island and you have to work with other people, and you need charisma for that. In the academic field, charismatic researchers find it a lot easier to get funding for their different studies. They also are able to teach the courses that they want to teach. If you're a doctor, for instance, and if you're more charismatic, obviously you're going to be more popular with your patients. They're going to be more willing to want to take your medical advice, and they're going to be way less likely to want to sue you. Even if you're something like a stay-at-home mom, you still have to use charisma dealing with your own children, dealing with school teachers, and dealing with other members in your community. It's a really ubiquitous trait that you can use in basically every area of your life. So you should care about charisma, and you should care about learning the different ways to boost your charisma. I also want to mention that if you don't believe it's inherited, there are a lot of famous, well-known speakers that actually in the beginning, they were really not that great of speakers. So a great example that the author gives is Steve Jobs. He is known as one of the greatest, most visionary speakers who's very persuasive and obviously very good at selling, right? He wasn't always that way. If you actually go and look at some of his old talks from when he was a lot younger, he was actually pretty awkward and he wasn't that charismatic. And he became charismatic gradually throughout the years by working hard to learn charismatic behavior. Other examples are YouTube. YouTube is a perfect way to see how someone built their charisma. Two really great examples of really successful YouTube channels that started off pretty awkwardly, in my opinion, are actualize.org. So if you go to this guy's site, you'll see that he's very well versed and he's a very excellent speaker, but if you go to his first videos, they were really awkward and you can tell he was nervous and he had anxiety and he just wasn't the greatest speaker, but you'll see a progression over time and now he's just really good. Another great example is Infinite Waters. This is another really popular spiritual, personal growth, personal development channel. This guy has made well over 1,000 videos. And if you look at some of his first videos, he was awkward. He spoke kind of choppy, slow. You could tell he was nervous. And now, if you look at his recent videos, he is just flying on camera. Like, literally, he gives no shits anymore. And he's not nervous, and he's charismatic, and his videos flow, and it's amazing to see the actual progression of someone's speaking skills, and YouTube is a perfect platform to witness that. Also, I really sucked too, and I'm still working on my charismatic ability. Go look at some of my old videos. I cringe watching some of my older videos because I was just so awkward, but I leave them up there for you guys so that you can see my progression in my YouTube journey as well. So we're going to go through the 8 ways that the author suggests for you to boost your charisma. So the first way to boost your charisma is to work on your body language. Body language is so powerful for communication. I think it makes up at least 50% of the way that you communicate with someone. Body language allows you to reveal your mental state to others. So they can pick it up right away by looking at your posture and your different gestures and things like that. The thing about body language, though, is that it's a subconscious thing. You can't really consciously control it, and if you try to consciously control your body language while you're actually conversing with someone, it could appear awkward because it just takes too much brain power and it'll take away from the conversation. So body language is very much subconscious and kind of autopilot. So you're going to have to work with that and work through your subconscious in order to influence your body language. So the best way that the author suggests for you to do that is to, again, use visualization. Like so many authors that I go through recommend doing this, is to visualize yourself as an excellent speaker and to, again, study excellent speakers, notice their body language, observe their body language, and then when you're going to go and speak, you're going to start to kind of imitate that and model it. Consciously try doing that, and then before you know it, it's going to become a subconscious thing. Visualize yourself as an amazing, charismatic, very skilled speaker. So you really just need to work on improving your overall body language. The second way to boost your charisma, and this is again extremely important, is presence. 100% full focus and attention. Believe it or not, this is actually a really rare thing to come by these days, is 100% full focus and attention from someone else, because there are just too many distractions in our world and our brains are really just kind of scattered and all over the place. And so when you can 100% listen to someone and 100% focus on someone, that is actually going to build trust between you and that person. You're going to build an emotional connection with them. They're going to feel important to you. It's just really, really important to establish that connection with someone, to be fully present and fully listen to what they're saying. The third way to boost your charisma is called the being powerful and warm combination. So this also draws from the book called Compelling People, the hidden qualities that make us influential. So if you're someone who's in a position of authority or power, or you're perceived as being strong, or you have some other aspect, like maybe you're really attractive, or maybe you are really already funny and social, if you have some kind of trait that already gives you an advantage where people view you as being stronger or a strong person, but yet you're also compassionate and warm towards these people, that is an extremely irresistible, appealing trait. People are really drawn to people who project strength and warmth at the same time. Because from an evolutionary perspective, someone who's perceived as strong, who is your ally, who is kind to you, and who is your friend, could mean the difference between life and death. Like for instance, if you were friends with the king way back in the day, it could make the difference between you being executed or you being not executed, right? Or if you're being attacked by a tiger, and if you're friends with someone who's really strong, they could potentially save you from different predators and different dangers in your environment. So if you already have strengths, play up on those strengths, and then be compassionate and be kind towards others, and that's going to make you very, very appealing. The next way to boost your charisma is to find your style. So according to this author, there are 4 different types of charisma. Everybody's going to kind of gravitate towards one type, or they're going to be better at one particular type. So the 4 types are presence. So again, this is whole being fully present with someone. The author gives the example of Bill Clinton. Apparently he had the ability to be very fully present with the people around him. The second style is visionary. So you're going to inspire people to make them believe in something. A really great modern example of this is Elon Musk. The third style is kindness. You're going to make others feel seen and accepted. A great example of this is the Dalai Lama. And the last style is authority. Other people believe that you have the power to change their lives. A great example of this is Hitler. He convinced the entire country that he could change their lives. So you're going to identify with one of these styles. You're going to feel like you're stronger in one of these styles. And the author suggests that you play up your strengths, build on what you're already naturally good at, because it's going to appear unnatural and awkward if you kind of stray from your personality trait and your natural style that you already have. So just build on what you're already good at and really solidify the style that you identify with most. The fifth way to boost your charisma is to make an excellent bomb-ass first impression. The reason why it's really important to solidify a good first impression is because once people have made their mind up about you, in the future, with their future interactions with you, they're going to seek to reaffirm that first impression rather than revise it. So they're going to keep reaffirming what they initially thought about you. That's naturally what people want to do. So the best way to make a really good first impression is to make people feel like you are similar to them. Try to find things that you have in common with whoever you're trying to be charismatic with. Bring the commonalities about you two out. Maybe mirror their body language. Talk about things they're already interested in. Make them feel like you are like them, because you're going to make them feel comfortable and then they're automatically going to like you. The sixth way to boost your charisma is to overcome mental and physical discomfort. So if you're hungry, you're tired, you're cranky, all of these things are going to come off to the people around you. You're going to be in a bad mood. You're not going to be in the right state of mind. So if you have a really important meeting or interview or test or whatever with somebody, you want to make sure that you're well rested, that you have enough glucose running through your brain and enough energy so that you can put off a really charismatic energy. So the author gives an example. I mean, this is a big deal. The author gives an example of a consultant that he knew who lost out on a $4 million deal because he wore the wrong shirt. That's right, he wore the wrong shirt. He wore a black wool suit to a deal, obviously. It was a hot day and he was sitting in direct sunlight, so he got really hot, sweaty, and uncomfortable. During their meeting, he was just expressing signs of discomfort from the fact that he was hot, but the people were kind of put off by this behavior. They didn't realize it was because he was too hot. They thought that he appeared nervous and anxious. So he lost out on $4 million because he wore the wrong clothes. So it can be something as simple as that. You just want to prevent any forms of mental or physical discomfort. You want to get rid of that so that you are in like the right state of mind and in the zone. Step 7 is to de-dramatize. Often people kind of psych themselves out before a really important interview or meeting, and they think of all the things that could go wrong, and they just go into this downward spiral of mental discouragement. And you really don't want to go down that path because it's going to affect your charisma. So the author says to just use different exercises to not make the stakes so high and to not make you take it so seriously, to kind of ease off on the reins and allow you to relax and get into that comfortable, charismatic state. The author just tells you to remind yourself that other people have dealt with these emotions, maybe fears, doubts, or uncertainties, and that it's a normal part of being human, and that you're going through what other people went through. You're not the only one. Another great exercise is to imagine that, I really love this exercise. It's to imagine that life is a game. Life is a dream. Life isn't real. You don't have to really take it seriously. Like the saying goes, all of the cards go back in the box. Everything goes back in the box. At the end of the day, you're gonna die. You're gonna be just like everyone else. So make it fun. Have fun with it. Make it a game. Why does it have to be so serious? I love doing this because it really just takes the pressure off. It takes pressure off. It alleviates you, and you're just like, oh, you know, whatever. It really doesn't matter in the long run, because who knows? Maybe it really doesn't. And step 8 is to destigmatize negative thoughts and neutralize negative thoughts. So negative thoughts, again, are going to interfere with your ability to be charismatic, particularly shame. The author really stresses the fact that shame is like the complete opposite of charisma, and it's really going to kill your charisma if you have any ounce of shame in your mind or in your being. So the author says it's really critical that you remove feelings of shame from your mentality in order to build your charisma. You have to just realize that shame is a normal part of being human. It's a normal human emotion that everybody experiences, and it's okay to feel shame, but you don't want to harbor it and carry it around with you throughout your entire life, because it's going to interfere with your charisma, and it's going to interfere with your relationships, your self-esteem, your confidence. So it's really important that you learn how to neutralize your negative emotions about yourself, your fears, your shame, and your doubts. It's really important that you neutralize all of those things in order to boost your charisma. Okay guys, those are the 8 ways to boost your charisma. I hope that they helped you. I really am a fan of the main message of this book. I myself was really awkward, and I just had low confidence. I wasn't outgoing, I wasn't charismatic, and it really did affect me negatively in my jobs, at school, basically in any setting with a ton of people, I didn't know how to communicate properly, and I wasn't charismatic, and I got a lot of negative outcomes from that. And it wasn't until I learned how to communicate with people, how to be charismatic, how to really be a strong social person, that I saw a huge difference in my overall life. So I hope that these ways help you and you yourself can be a super charismatic. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!